Science proves quality sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Sleep Number 360 smart bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. And it's temperature balancing, so you stay cool. So you're at your best for yourself and those you care about most. Life-changing sleep, only from Sleep Number. It's our ultimate Sleep Number event. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs. You used to associate crickets with silence. But since you bought a house in the suburbs, you know crickets hate silence. If any other creature realized rubbing its legs together made a piercing, high-pitched noise, they might think, maybe I won't do that. Constantly. All night long. Luckily, you can save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto. Now that's something to make noise about. Just not constantly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
You're listening to Earth 894, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast where each week we dive into the entire quantum realm, where we want to find the latest news, give you some reviews on the TV shows and the movies, and talk about some really cool stuff to get you caught up. Marvel Multiverse. If it's your first time listening to our podcast, welcome to our area of the multiverse, and we hope that you have a great time because we're going to be talking about some really cool stuff today. We are going through our top 5 lists of what we want to see in Phase 5 of the MCU. A lot of loose ends from Phase 4 that we haven't really gotten just yet, so maybe they'll be hoping to make an appearance, and we'll talk about that in a bit. My name is Devin Stone, and with me is the man who always makes sure that adamantium is in his dietary restrictions, because if he has it, oh no, it's not going to be a good time for those who get him angry. But he is very jolly tonight, and we're going to have an awesome time talking. So let me introduce you to my co-host, Louis Tenorini.
What's up? How you been?
You know, getting over like a cough and everything, so I apologize ahead of time, but I'm not doing too bad, man. You know, it's already halfway through January, and it's feeling like it, to say the least. But outside where we're at in Chicago, it's like practically spring already, late fall, like 40, 50 degrees sometimes, rainy and everything. It's kind of weird. It's very confusing.
It's cold.
Still cold. Still sucks.
It's cold.
How are you, though, man? How you been doing?
Oh, man. Stressed. But I'm okay. You know?
Yeah? What's got you stressed?
We'll get to it.
Sounds good.
We'll get to it.
Well, I think that's what we're alluding to right now, guys. We do this really cool segment where we help warm each other up a little bit, not in the physical way, but more in the intellectual, emotional way. And that is why we dedicate this section to
MCU for you.
Louis. What has been MCU for you, my man?
Oh, man. So, last week, Devin, you and I were recording, and I got a beck and call from upstairs that my lovely, beautiful wife needed help. I said, "Oh, what's going on up there?" And I went upstairs, and my son was in my wife's arms, and he said, "Dad, I'm throwing up." And I was like, "Oh, no." We had just put him down for bed, came downstairs to record, and all of a sudden he's puking. You know, my wife was taking a shower, so we didn't hear him for a little bit. Well, my wife deduced that he was throwing up because he was crying so much. The reason he was crying so much is because he had to go potty, and he didn't want to pee in his pull-up. I promise this all wraps up. He didn't want to pee in his pull-up because he knows that's a no-no. You know, he would rather go potty. The problem is I just took it potty before we laid him down. So he made himself sick, and whatever. Put him back to bed. He was fine. We decided that to avoid that, we're going to get him a big boy bed. So we went to IKEA, which was terrible. And we looked for beds and mattresses, stuff like that. And my wife and I are both horrible shoppers. We just like, that one's good enough. That's fine. Whatever. And so we got the bed, we got the bed frame, the mattress, and that's really it. And some storage for underneath the bed. And I had to go talk to this guy downstairs to get the delivery set up, and Henry was just being terrible. So I finally handed him my phone. You know, every millennial thinks I'm not going to be a phone parent until they're a parent, and then they go, "Ah, yes, here you go, watch Miss Rachel," and got that all set up. And then we went to Target later that night, and this is where it becomes MCU. We went to Target, and he got Spider-Man blanket and sheets and pillowcases.
Hell yeah.
And his whole bed is Spider-Man now. He wanted other stuff, but I just spent $900 today. No, you're not getting anything else. And set it up for delivery for Sunday. So Sunday, they set the delivery window between noon and 4, I want to say 1 and 5. It was 1 and 5, and which is the worst time for delivery window. But they showed up about 4:40 or so, brought the whole bed inside, and then of course it's IKEA, so it's all in pieces. And then I came downstairs. I was playing a little God of War, and then I heard Henry come down the stairs, and I threw an axe at a guy, hit him right in the head. Henry goes, "Oh, good throw, Dad."
Aw.
I was like, "Oh, okay." So I turned the game off because it's a little much for a 3-year-old. But Hannah took the kids to McDonald's, and I put the bed together. And when I do stuff, I need sounds to be happening. I can't do anything in complete silence. So I turned on a few YouTube videos from a YouTube channel called Comic Storian. I believe we've talked about this in the past, but I turned on the Secret Wars where you read the whole thing. I just listened to a guy talk about it.
Nice.
And I think he was doing the more recent run of Secret Wars.
That's next on my list to go into, because that's probably what's going to be more realistic for the MCU.
It was not the Beyonder. It was Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, and there was Cyclops and Reed Richards, and the Thing was fighting Galactus, and
It's pretty epic.
yeah, there was a whole Galactus was like Reed's son's play toy. I was only like half-ass listening because I was putting a thing together. So I did listen to Secret Wars as read by Comic Storian. I was expecting like a 7-hour video, and it was like an hour long or something.
That's all pretty cool.
Yeah, that was fun. What's up?
Did it make you want to actually try and read any of the comics in that like story arc? I
wear glasses, and that's about as close to reading as I'm ever gonna get. You have ADHD. You've said it plenty of times on the show, where you can't focus on one thing. I can't read. I cannot sit down and read. I will.
It's pretty tough for me too. I feel you.
I'll make it 4 sentences into a book and be like, I have no idea what the hell is going on, and then I got to restart the entire thing. No, in comic books, I don't have like a good way to read them. Where like some people, obviously, you just read a damn comic book, but I don't have comic books. I would just use the Marvel Unlimited app. Excuse me. However, like reading a whole book on your phone sucks, and I don't have a tablet or a Kindle or anything, so that goes out the window. So I just don't.
That's okay.
I also listened to a comic he read about Venom. I think it's the newest run of Venom comics. And he is like, what the fuck was he? The King in Black?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It has to do with and now I'm blanking on his name too. But basically the big bad symbiote. The one who's in behind is it Null? Null.
No, Null's the god, but no, it's Venom's the top dog now.
Ooh.
And it's him versus Kang the Conqueror. Like yeah. It was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting. He has like complete control of the timelines, and he can travel to any multiverse and through time and all this other stuff. He's trying to save his son. But like it's a good read. When it starts, it's like one Eddie Brock's doing this, but then he gets a call from a different Eddie Brock, and then he sees another Eddie Brock, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Then you find out it's like him time traveling, and he's just keep going back to the same spot to try and do different shit.
That's funny.
Spoilers, obviously. That was pretty cool. And I will leave you on with my PlayStation 5 over there. I've been looking at different games to not play. And one that's out right now is called Midnight Suns.
Oh, yeah. Did you pick it up?
And I know literally nothing about the Midnight Suns, right? But I've done very, very, very light reading about them on Wikipedia, just like who was in it. And one of the guys is this guy, Dr. Voodoo. And I was like, oh, and then I saw he had a Funko Pop, because when you buy a bunch of Funko Pops, original Funko is on your Instagram all the time. They're like, do you want this one or this one or this one?
Never ends.
And one of them's that guy, Dr. Voodoo. So I don't know who that is. And then luckily Variant Comics on YouTube, another good channel if you like comic books, came out with Origins of Brother Voodoo, which is Dr. Voodoo before he becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. And that was quite interesting. So I know a little bit about Brother Voodoo now. That's also, and I bought so many Funko Pops. But that's been MCU for me. Devin, what's been MCU for you, kind sir?
Well, that's all good and dandy, you know. So I finally went and watched Blade. I said I was going to do it a long time ago, probably close to like when we talked about Morbius. But yeah, so what was interesting about it? I know. Okay, so to kind of frame a reference, what did I know about Blade before I saw the movie? I knew that the opening scene with the rave and everything was pretty well regarded, iconic and everything. And so I knew like, okay, there's going to be a bloodbath. There's going to be some crazy stuff here. I did not expect it to be such a brutal movie. Like, it's super gory. But the nice thing about it, nice is a weird way to describe it, but this is, I think, came out in 98, right? So think about graphics and CGI at that time in the 90s, right? It's getting more on the cutting edge. You know, 1 year later, The Phantom Menace would really turn the tides of CGI and everything in Star Wars. But beforehand, a little rough around the edges. But like, Louis, I think I was texting you and you haven't seen any of the Blades either, right? So without spoiling, and just in case you go and watch them and everything, whenever there's a vampire kill, this is what really took me back for a second. I was like, whoa. What are you going to say?
Rule of thumb. If the movie came out more than 10 years ago, it's not even a spoiler anymore. You're
fair.
Allowed to say whatever you want at that point, because I've had plenty of time to watch that movie and I just haven't.
That is fair. But just in case, whenever a vampire gets killed, they like have all their skin just like turn to mush and like ash at the same time. And then it's just like slowly shows their skeleton. And then the skeleton pretty much just like turns into dust. It's like getting like pulverized, bloody Mortal Kombat destroyed, and but also getting snapped at the same time. It was pretty entertaining. It was very funny. And it's just like every kill is this exact same thing. But it was really bloody. And it makes sense because it's vampires, right? But I was like totally like, man, this is pretty funny. But as a kid, if I saw that, I'd probably be fucking scared because there's so many F-bombs in the movie too. It's a very adult film, which brings me to my point. Like I was texting about it, I'm like, now I see why it's such a big deal for getting Blade right for the MCU. We know there's been those issues with like the script, the director and everything, and hopefully they're on track again now. But like Blade can be very adult. That's also with the Midnight Suns you brought up too. They could potentially set up that in the MCU beyond Phase 6 or whatever. But like, how do you match that tone while respecting the original Blade trilogy and the comics, and also like what's going on with, you know, more of a PG-13 kind of era of Marvel? It's a big task, and you don't want to over deliver, you don't want to under deliver, curb expectations, yada yada yada. So I get it, but it did get me pretty excited to see Blade in the MCU because all the vampire fighting stuff, and after Werewolf by Night, I'm really stoked, man. I'm ready for this kind of like darker, grungier, underground, kind of spookier side of the Marvel universe. I think it'll be fun.
The horror side.
The horror.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but in Werewolf by Night, they show that Jack Russell has had a few tussles with Dracula, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Dracula is going to be in Blade? Has that been announced yet?
Not yet. Really, not much has been announced, but the biggest rumor, and I had to see who reported it. It's been so long now, but they kept on saying, I'm forgetting his name.
Anthony Starr, right?
Yeah.
Homelander
being Dracula.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that somewhere.
Yeah, man.
So like,
how cool would that be?
That would be a perfect way to connect Jack Russell to Blade to the Eternals, but stuff like that. Morbius.
Yeah. Well, no Morbius. But either way, it's pretty cool. So I was really stoked for that. So I need to go and finish Blade 2 and 3, which gets me excited for 3 too, because I know I'm pretty sure Trinity is when Ryan Reynolds is in that movie too. He's practically Wade Wilson pre-Deadpool with all these like samurai swords and shit. So I'm excited to go and watch it. But yeah, man, that was pretty much my MCU for you. It's been a cool highlight. And of course, I'm still playing Marvel Snaps. I'm still trying to dig into some comics, the usual. The huge.
I finally deleted Marvel Snap off my phone.
No, I feel you.
I just did not play it enough to keep it on there.
I respect it. I haven't played as much lately, but I feel you.
I did go undefeated. I never lost.
Wow. Perfect record.
But I think I was like 10-0 or something. Like I think you've probably played 10,000 games. I played 10.
Yeah, I don't think currently the app tracks your record like that, but if it did, I would not want to say it publicly. Let's just keep it at that. Alrighty. So, Louis, the main topic of this episode, we're going to be talking about our top 5 things we want out of the phase 5 of the MCU. Before we go into that, though, I just want to do a quick little news item that I think could be interesting. Just kind of like what do you think? How's that sound?
Sure.
Let's dig into that real quick.
News or footage. Keyword
Marvel News.
Remember that show that got announced, and I believe it's part of Phase 5, and it might be even coming out later this year or early next year. Maybe if someone can take a look at that real quick. But the first photo from WandaVision's Agatha spinoff, House of Harkness.
It is Phase 5.
Yeah. Or Covenant of Chaos.
Next year.
Got shared. Sweet.
Well, it says winter 2023/24.
Okay. So that makes sense. But yeah, we got a first set photo. And what is shown is a chair. Whenever you see like the on-set chair to like the actors, right? Familiar with like the back usually has like their name, or it'll show like the logo of the movie or something like that, right? Well, in the photo here, it actually shows Agnes of Westview. And it's kind of interesting because it has almost like this like whitish electricity or kind of like this energy flowing through the middle of it, but it still has that purple kind of color tone of the Agnes of Westview, the letter of the text. So my question for you, Louis, I never really thought about it until I saw this photo, because we also have seen reported confirmations of 2 other characters from WandaVision who are in this series. And that's, I'm blanking on their name, but Kitty from That 70s Show, her character is going to be returning. And also the one president of like the booster club, whatever, from WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both in it. So is it possible that this show could actually be a prequel to WandaVision? Or is it actually set after the events of WandaVision? Or is it both? I don't know. But this chair kind of got me thinking about it. Louis, what do you think? Where does this potentially take place in the MCU?
That question's never even crossed my mind. I would say probably, oh man, I'm gonna go with all 3. I'll say it's probably gonna be set after, but I'm sure it'll have points before Wanda and also during Wanda.
I think that's a safe bet. Yeah, I think it's going to jump around too. I think there's no way we don't get any sort of further explanation, or like in WandaVision, we got Agatha at the stake, how she killed her parents and her coven and everything, and then ha ha ha. But what about all that time between her moment in Salem up until getting her involved with the events of Westview, right? Maybe we get like, oh, where has she been all along? A little time lapse or something. And then also maybe it does go into how does she break free from Wanda's curse? Or maybe it ends with Wanda coming and like, I need you. I don't know. But it's just interesting because I didn't really think of this being like something that could potentially jump around. I thought it would be very, very set in stone, very linear or something like that. And it kind of gets me more excited for this because honestly, I want to see more Catherine Hahn in the MCU. She kills it as Agatha. But also, I really like what they were setting up in WandaVision. I think that has a lot of new territory that can keep a lot of fans interested and intrigued, and also could go into like we were just talking about with like Blade and the Midnight Suns and all like the kind of darker, spooky horror side of the MCU. Maybe it does dabble a little in that, and that could be really cool to see. A little bit of everything for everyone. The one thing I was going to bring up too, and let me just say, I hope we get another song. I know it was the theme of WandaVision and everything, but I really want to get Agatha singing another song. I need a sophomore EP release. I need the follow up to Agatha All Along. Give us something cool, meaty.
The way down to the twisted world, if you will.
There you go. you know. Go check out our band, Wolf Road.
I got you, fam.
Thank you. So that was all I wanted to bring up. Just kind of talking about that a little bit because that just came out this week, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Wanted to see what could potentially be in store for that. So we'll keep a close eye to the ground on that one as it keeps developing. So Louis, let's dive into our top 5 here.
Boom. You looking for this?
Devin, since it's your show, how about you go first? What is your number 5 thing that you want?
Let me stop
phase
there.
5.
It is not my show. It is our show. This is a we operating team. No I in team. We. And speaking of teams, make sure you're following us on all our socials at Earth894 Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, Earth894podcast.com for the latest updates and scoops, because teamwork involves a lot of cool stuff. And when you're a team, maybe you're in sports. You know what sports has to do with? March. And what has March have to do with? A lot of madness. And what's something that we are mad about? The multiverse of March Madness. Season 2. Stay tuned. We got something cooking up. Now, after that word from our sponsors, I will start with my number 5 then. And then we'll toss over to you, Louis. And I think we talk about everything a little bit here too as we go. Because I'm curious to see what you think. And I'm sure you're curious to see what I think too and get a little bit of reaction going. So kicking off number 5 for me is actually, I want a Spider-Man cameo. I want to see Tom Holland, not just a little nod like someone saying Spider-Man or something like that. I actually want to see Peter Parker on screen. I don't want to wait all the way till phase 6. I want to see him a little bit sooner because I want to know what that webbed hero is up to. So that's my fingers crossed. And I keep it lower on my list because it's not the end of the world. But I want a little bit of Spidey.
Where would you put that?
If I had to choose, and I'm going off of the properties we have, I would say probably in Echo. Because it's New York. It's got Kingpin. We know Daredevil's in it. It's in his neck of the woods.
You're so close. It's Daredevil Born Again.
I know, that was going to be my second. Is like, if not Echo, Daredevil, please put him in there.
I almost guarantee you he won't be an Echo because she's such a fragile character to begin with, where not a lot of people know her. You're already going to have Kingpin and Daredevil in it, and that's going to take away from her already. You put Spider-Man in it, that's not an Echo show anymore. The other thing is, I don't respect the shows enough.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, which is bad, but like, I don't see the top level guys going to the Disney Plus shows. I've been proved wrong. Like Hulk was in She-Hulk, but like our good friend Mr. Marvel's Minutes is always like, I think Thor is going to be in Loki season 2. I was just like, there's no way Chris Hemsworth is doing a Disney Plus show. It's just not going to happen. And I feel the same way about Tom Holland coming to Disney Plus. So that's where I stand with that. If I had to pick a spot, though, it would be Daredevil Born Again. And also it would be a very cameo thing, kind of like Daredevil Matt was in She-Hulk.
I think you're right. You've convinced me that's a good spot. Because he's also showing, Daredevil Born Again is supposed to take place later in phase 5, towards the end. And so we know, I think filming was supposed to start this spring, give or take. And that's also like, 18 episodes? It's long. Yeah, I think that'd be probably the big kicker because this is a little bit different, right? everyone has already seen Daredevil and She-Hulk. There's a huge following from the Netflix series. So it wouldn't be like you're taking away from a newer character in their own show if you throw in a big, well-known character like Spider-Man, right? Hell, I think it would blow the fucking ratings off the roof if that's still a thing. If
break the internet,
it shows up, right? But it'd be awesome, man. I hope we get a little cameo there. So that is my number 5. What you got?
So we're gonna kick off with my number 5. No surprise to anybody. I would love a super cool, almost Captain America team up between the Red Guardian and John Walker in the Thunderbolts movie. I don't know how they're going to fit these people together cohesively. So I would just like, everyone knows Captain America, my number 1. John Walker and Red Guardian are both really high on my list because they're Captain America-esque. So I would love I'm almost Captain America and I'm almost Captain America, and we're going to do stuff that Steve would never do to fucking Hyperion or whoever the bad guy is for that movie. I think that would be bitchin'.
So you really want the Red Guardian and the John Walker team up?
It's my number 5, yeah.
Well, I think that one is guaranteed, given Thunderbolts cast and everything.
Well, when I say team up, I just mean like a scene or a something where they just those two are doing something.
I understand now.
Where they throw each other their shields and they're doing it doesn't even need to be a whole scene. Just like a quick something where after the movie I could go, "Did you fucking see that, dude? Did you see it?" And you're gonna be like, "Oh my god."
That'll be pretty cool.
So that's just a moment, I guess. I would love just a John Walker Red Guardian moment that I can hold forever from Phase 5.
That's awesome. I forgot about this in MCU for you. I realized I have only seen Black Widow once. I've only seen it in the theater opening night. That was it. So I actually turned it on a little bit when I was doing some little homework, production, everything on the weekend, and let it play in the background, kept my dog company. So I watched part of it. And then I did some scenes with trivia and everything too. So I need to go back and actually sit down and watch Black Widow. So what you just said about Red Guardian, I think that helped kick my interest a little bit more in that direction. So I'm going to watch it again soon. Well, cool, man. I think it'll be a good time. There's the helmet. Okay. My number 4. Get ready for this. I want to see Phil Coulson or Daisy Johnson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to show up in Phase 5. Now, where do they do that? I'm glad you asked, Louie.
I was going to.
Perfect. I read your mind. Secret Invasion. Please, please, please do it in Secret Invasion because it's perfect. I mean, you got Nick Fury back. You got all this cool spy stuff. Bring back to the best S.H.I.E.L.D. spies ever. Quake, Sky, Daisy Johnson, all of the above. That's her names and aliases if you haven't watched the show.
I haven't.
Yeah, but her superpower hero is Quake and everything. Bring her in. She is so good, so talented, and she's from Chicago, but also Phil Coulson. Hell yeah. So I would love to see that. Now, if I had to say, okay, you can't get that, can you get a little alternate? It'd be to have S.H.I.E.L.D. back. I would love to have S.H.I.E.L.D. back in Phase 5. That probably not going to happen. But these characters, I'm hopeful.
Correct me if I'm wrong. At the end of Hawkeye, you find out that what is her name? No, Martin. Her name
is Laura.
Clint's wife. Is it Laura? I was going to say Linda. But you find out his wife was an old S.H.I.E.L.D. operative. What was her name? Didn't it retcon something from?
It did retcon a character from the actual Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series. She is known as Mockingbird, I believe.
Okay.
I want to say,
and that's not your Quake lady.
No, totally different character, which is convenient. Now I feel like I always mess up the names because I think of the Birds of Prey. I think of one of the characters from that. But I want to say it's Mockingbird. Yeah, it's Mockingbird.
Birds of Prey is Black Canary.
Black Canary. That's what I always forget. The Canary is what I confuse it on. But basically, in Agents of Shield, the character's name is Bobby Morse. And so she's basically kind of like a Black Widow, kind of like character, has two batons, usually fights with, really good agent. But also in the comics, I guess she was a love interest of Kazar. So, a little interesting there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We might get part of this pretty soon. At number 4, I would love to get a connection, more of a story of the connection between the 10 rings and like Kamala Khan's bangle and that whole mystical jewelry thing going on. I know very, very little about Quantumania, but I have seen stills of Kang hanging out, and there's like the magical bands all floating around him. That seems very 10 ringsy, so we might get something there. I don't know where they would do this at, the whole connection between all these old things, unless it was like a Thunderbolts thing, because the rumor is the Thunderbolts are going to take on this big cosmic entity. But I don't know, but I would love to just have more information from the 10 rings and the bangle. And I feel like there was something else, but I don't remember.
That's a good one. I think you're right on that because there's a lot of setting up in phase 4 with those bangles, the rings, and everything. And, without giving too much context, there is a lot of ring presence in general in Quantumania. And so I think we will get at least a little bit more of that carrot that's dangling right in front of us, a little bit of a nibble of info. I'm hoping for it because I too am just so curious about it. And like, I love a good mystery. I love suspense of just trying to like, theorize, yada, yada. But when it goes too long and you're still not getting the connection or the answers or whatever, then it can kind of feel kind of like, all right, this is a little too much. You're building up too much like suspense and everything. And is it going to be worth the payoff, So I think it's very probable in the next few weeks here, we're going to get some answers revealed. And same with the Marvels too, which also comes out this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get even more info on those whole connection of the Bengals. I mean, they have to have some explanation given that,
Oh yeah, the Marvels.
Yeah, I mean,
They
spoilers, you
might
haven't seen
have
the
something
Marvels.
on there.
But the post-credit scene, the final episode shows Brie Larson show up as Captain Marvel. She completely just warped and like swapped spaces or places with Kamala Khan. So where's Kamala? And now why is like Carol Danvers in Kamala's bedroom? We'll find out. So I think you're spot on with that one. Okay. So now we're on to number 3. Halfway done. My number 3. I want to see another Netflix era Marvel character come into the MCU. And if I had to guess who is most likely, I say either Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. And if I had to do a third one, probably John Berthal's Punisher. That'd be my closest one because of Daredevil. There's some rumors out there that potentially Jessica Jones might be showing up in Echo or even Daredevil. I'm hoping. I still need to watch Jessica Jones, but I want to see, if Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock gets to come into the MCU, there's got to be some other ones coming in too. I mean, his show, is great compared to all of them. It's probably the best, but like, there's still some really good characters and actors I'd love to see come back. I'd love to see Luke Cage in the MCU. Love to see him. I loved that first season so much. So, fingers crossed.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes. I keep seeing a picture of Kristen Ritter on Instagram where she's working out. She's got a Daredevil shirt on, and everyone's like, she's fucking coming. Yeah. So,
Exactly.
I mean, that would be incredible. I haven't seen any Mike Coulter stuff about him coming back as Luke Cage. I love the Luke Cage show so much. It would probably hurt me if they recast Luke Cage, which they might have to. Also, I feel like John Bernthal coming back as the Punisher almost is a guarantee at this point.
I think so.
I thought it was going to be Armor Wars. I don't remember why, because he doesn't wear armor, but
Interesting.
I would like, he was the perfect Punisher. Like, let's have him back immediately.
Now, Iron Fist.
He wants to come back too. Finn Jones.
That's cute.
Hard pass. Hard pass, Finn Jones. Do better the first time and people will want you back.
Yeah. I won't say it's entirely his fault, because also it has to do with like the writing direction and everything, but also I think the general consensus said
learn the fight scenes, dude. It's a fighting show. Learn how to fight the scenes.
R.I.P. my man. What do you got for number 3?
Oh, for my number 3, we just talked about him a little bit. You're probably not going to agree with me, but I'm going to say it. In Born Again, I want badass Daredevil back. I want like cool, brooding, in the shadows, in the night, Daredevil who's like kicking ass, taking names, fucking doing the whole thing like he was in the Netflix show. I don't want walk of shame, ketchup and mustard Daredevil. That's not what I want. This is a list of what I want, and I don't want that. I want cool Daredevil. Not to say that it was all bad. I enjoyed seeing a lighter side of Matt Murdock. Let's be real. He was very bad with relationships in the show, between Elektra and Karen Page, and I'm sure there were other ones off the top of my head. I don't remember, but he's been with some women. He's a good looking guy and he knows how to play the blind thing. But now it seems like he's in like a serious thing with Jen Walters. I would assume she'd be back in Daredevil Born Again to some capacity. I don't know how, why, but I like when you watch the Daredevil show on Netflix and he's just beating the shit out of bad guys, And I always go back to the first season when there's like not a train car, but a container, like a shipping crate container, and it's full of women, and they're gonna ship them off to be in the what's the word I'm looking for? The human trafficking. And he's just like jumping around the top of the thing, and then he beats the shit out of I'll never remember that guy's name either. The goon that was in every show. He just beat the shit out of him, and it was so great. And he like opened the door and he goes, "Run!" And then they're all scared, and he hits the door really hard. He goes, "Run!" And they all just dip. Like, I just love that show so much. I have so much so much respect for that show, and I want it back. And I know it's Disney and they might have to tone it down a little, but like, I don't think you need to be chopping dudes' toes off like they did to Punisher, but darken it up a little bit. We'll get more into that in a little bit, but anything you have to say?
I'm not going to complain if it gets broody like he did in Netflix. I will not complain one bit because it's good and it works. Like, that's part of the best things about like being street level, right? And that's what we heard Spider-Man 4 should return to a bit, being more street level and everything. It's down and gritty. It's dirty. It's, it's a street, man, especially in New York and everything. Not the cleanliest place on the planet. So it makes sense with the tone of the theme and everything. Be a little bit, sometimes you pull your punches, sometimes you pull a little less. But I think it would be good. But I think they're going to keep in mind, like, we cannot just water down this character too much. I think She-Hulk, his appearance in there is a one-off. I really think it's just because that's the tone of the show. That's how it is. It makes sense to just be a little bit lighter side. Show he can be a fun guy, right? That's where the mustard comes in with the ketchup. But when he's back in Born Again, it's all ketchup. So I think we'll get him being pretty mean again, especially with Kingpin back. I gotta imagine we got some really good tussles going back and forth. But I wonder if we're gonna see another villain show up. Like, Kingpin is there, ongoing, but I don't want to see Kingpin almost like being the 3 seasons of him, the main villain the whole time again, right? I want to see some other people show up.
Bullseye was so good in season 3 of Daredevil. Like, so good. I do have to say, did you see they have a new Matt Murdock Funko Pop coming out?
Yeah, it's from No Way Home, right? Where he catches the brick.
Yeah, but he's like standing up and he's just like,
yeah.
And everyone says it looks like he's doing the whip. Now watch me whip. And he's like catching the brick there, and it looks silly, and everyone's like, "This is dumb," and they pre-ordered it. Like,
Yep.
of course you're gonna get it. Don't shut up. So
And
just
also,
made
this
me
is
laugh.
funny because he's standing in the Funko, but he was sitting in the movie.
Yeah,
Probably because it would be silly if it literally it's like, here's Daredevil in a chair with that. Probably would be a weird model to try and sculpt and produce. That is funny that that's the whip exclusive is on your list to get it.
Oh no, I didn't buy it. I'm really into the comic book covers right now.
True. Got a cool collection building up there too. And as we speaking of collecting, little quick plug, guys. So we have our Discord community and everything we built in our server. It's been a great time so far. We're trying to do some more stuff. Like one of the things we're trying to figure out right now is actually even doing like a little only for our Discord members, a live watch party of just a movie, something like that. Working on that. But we do have a channel dedicated that we call our Collectors Corner. So as we talk about getting Funkos to random things that are always cool to collect, we post them there in that channel. So if you love to show off what you got in your latest addition to your collection, doesn't have to be Marvel either, just anything cool. Go check out our Discord. Join it today. It's completely free. It's really fun. And you can find the link for it in the show notes for this episode, or just go to not Marvel, go to earth894podcast.com. Do it. All right. Ready for my number 2?
Number 2.
I want them to finally show us who owns Avengers Tower, formerly Stark Tower. It got teased in Far From Home. It got teased in and introduced that was being sold in Homecoming. Didn't know who. Didn't really even get to see it shown with Spidey's like swinging through New York at the end of Far From Home. Still haven't seen anything with all these things that have been in New York, like Hawkeye, No Way Home, yada, yada. I want to see who owns the tower. And originally, I thought it could be Oscorp. It makes the most sense, especially with it being Homecoming. But after No Way Home, we saw that Norman from Tobey Maguire Raimi verse said like my home's like someone else is living in my home. Sounds like Oscorp doesn't exist in the MCU timeline.
Norman's on sabbatical, honey.
Nice. So yeah, clearly there doesn't seem to be an Oscorp. Could it be Roxxon? We have gotten Roxxon references in Loki and some other things. Maybe that. Or is it, what probably most likely, is it the Baxter Building?
The Baxter Building.
Good old Fantastic Four.
Which we got a reference to in Multiverse of Madness.
Remind me, is it because of
that's who Christine works for in her in the what's the fucking word I'm looking for? In the alternate universe, she said she works for the Baxter Corporation.
There you go. Nice pull. I forgot about that little detail. So there you go. But the only thing that would suck about that, if that's the case, Fantastic Four is until the beginning of Phase 6. So it's not Phase 5. So I'm hoping we get it sooner. Give me something. Give me something, please. I still think we're going to get a little cameo of the Fantastic Four, though, before this phase is over. I think we're going to get it. All right. What you got, Louie? What's your number 2?
Number 2. Oh, man. My number 2 is it's going to be a little surprising because I don't particularly care for this as much as I thought I did. I would like a more cohesive thread for the young Avengers. It's clear they're trying to do something with all these young kids. And when I say young Avengers, I mean under 15. I don't want Peter Parker and Kate Bishop and Yelena in the Young Avengers. I feel like those are the
really
20-something Avengers. They're older. I don't like that as much. The Young Avengers being like Billy and Tommy singing their ice cream song.
Please no.
I can't remember his name, but it's Isaiah Bradley's grandson from
Patriot.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Maybe even I was going to say Riri Williams, but she's in college too. Like the kid Avengers. I don't know. When you're saying like I feel like those are adults at this point. When you're in college, you're still a kid kind of, but you're like on your way to adulthood. How long can you be a young Avenger when you're about to graduate college? You know,
that's true.
If you have to buy your own groceries, are you still a young Avenger?
I mean, Either or.
But you get who's the other one? Freaking
America Chavez.
Yes, that works too. Even Kamala Khan.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking of freaking girl. God, I was drawing a blank and now I'm drawing a complete blank. No, not a girl. Guy, Hulk's son.
Scar.
Scar. With his weird hair.
Scar from Sakaar.
We don't know how old or young Scar is. He doesn't say anything. He just stands there like a big lug.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like, give me like a thread here. Either don't do it or like really do it. Like, give me something here. That's a thought.
You know, kind of along the lines of the Young Avengers, you know how way back in, I forget what episode of She-Hulk we were reviewing, but we had Des and Jordan from the Two Black Nerds podcast on, and we're talking about like, what are they setting up for too behind the scenes, right? And I proposed the idea of doing Strange Academy.
Yes.
Well, there was a rumor that came out recently from a somewhat like recognizable source, whatever, about like, oh, rumor is that they're setting up for Strange Academy. I was like, called it. And so I kind of agree too. It's the same thing. They kind of have set some stuff up, but give us a little bit more of those breadcrumbs showing us closer to the main reason why we're doing this, right? Give us something more concrete to go off of. So I hope we do get more of the Young Avengers too. Also, it was Eli Bradley is who you were trying to think of.
You may have called it, but I still have the biggest W for I was going to say prescriptions, for predictions in Earth 894 at the end of Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
True. You took the crown for that one. We should come up with like a little, like an ongoing trophy, you know, when you pass like a little, like whatever, to whenever we do these predictions for like the movies, we should see whoever got the most right gets to hold the crown or whatever until the next movie. And then we pass it off to the next person. Let that marinate. If anyone has any suggestions, let us know. earth894podcast@gmail.com. All right, Louis, we're here. We're number one. Are you ready for this?
The number one thing I learned in boarding school is...
I'm ready. All right. My number one. This is a tough one. But I want Mephisto confirmed. Bring that devil into the MCU officially. No more of this little devil in the details. Is that a flamingo? Is that a fucking devil? And that fly? Is it a goddamn rabbit at this woman's closet? Is actually a fucking boner kill? Is it someone in a stained glass in the first episode of Loki, but it really is actually just another variant of Loki because of the goddamn horn on their hat? I want Mephisto. Bring me Mephisto. I want that shit confirmed.
Is he not confirmed for Ironheart?
Yes and no, but it's not official until he's on the screen. That's the only thing. Like, you can give me some good rumors. Probably is going to happen. Sacha Baron Cohen showing up in Ironheart. But still, I just want Mephisto.
I really don't like Sacha Baron Cohen as the devil.
Why is that?
We talked about this last week. He's a funny guy. He's a Bruno. He's a Borat. He's a very nice. You know, I don't see him as being like the devil. You know, I don't know. He's not.
Mephisto can kind of have some of that kind of silly brooding stuff.
I'm probably completely wrong here. I'm gonna say it anyway. In Ghost Rider, not MCU, but Nicolas Cage is Ghost Rider. He sells his soul to the devil. Is that Mephisto?
I want to say yes and no. I want to say Mephisto in the comics has actually been the one who gave the powers to Ghost Rider.
And that was Sam Elliott. Like, are there two more different actors than Sacha Baron Cohen and Sam Elliott? Like, I don't know. We were talking about Adam Driver last week, and I think he would be a cool devil, like Mephisto, like
a handsome devil.
I don't know. I don't love it. But yeah, Mephisto confirmed, man. Get him in here.
Hoping, man. I'm hoping. And Ironheart does release this year. I think either in the summer or fall is when it's kind of slated. So hoping. You know, as I'm thinking about it right now, I forget if there's how much actual release dates have been given.
None. We don't even have a release date for Secret Invasion yet.
Yeah, we just know early 2023 is for both What If season 2 and Secret Invasion. So my guess is I feel like we have to get an announcement this. You know what? We're probably going to get an announcement after Quantumania has hit theaters. I think that's when we're going to get our first trailer saying like, "Hey, What If season 2 is coming out here." And then I think we're going to get Secret Invasion second. I think they're going to give us animated first. But also it's feeling so wild. Like we're not getting any shows right now. I digress. I was just curious if we get anything around our birthday. It's my birthday in August in the summer.
It's my birthday.
Because Loki is supposed to be mid 2023. So safe to say or assume Loki season 2 is probably going to be in the summer. And then everything is late 2023 for Ironheart, Echo, and Agatha Covenant of Chaos. I've heard Echo apparently is in really rough shape right now in production. So it might actually be pushed back to next year. So yeah, either we're going to get Ironheart fall or late summer, or Loki's going to dominate all summer. We'll see. Everything is 6 episodes for the most part, except for some other shows. But yeah. Louis, lay it on me. What do you got for number 1?
You're going to be shocked, Devin.
Hit me.
You're going to be shocked at what I have at number 1. It's going to shock you.
I already see the clickbait headline.
I want them to have this phase be just a little more serious tone.
Mm-hmm.
Take it a lot more seriously than they did the phase 4 stuff. Cut the fluff, cut the jokes, every other thing. You know, I'm on record. I love Thor: Love and Thunder, but with this phase 4, I feel like the MCU has lost a lot of its legitimacy with the non-hardcore fans like you and I, to where I have to constantly defend it. So I just want a nice, serious tone where it's really easy to digest, and just, I said it earlier with Daredevil. And I think they should do the same with everything else, where it's like real big consequences and everything like that. And Ant-Man is another one where there's a lot of joking with Ant-Man. And I still want to see the comedic side, but we've seen a lot of comedic out of Ant-Man. And now, like with Kang the Conqueror and whatever else, it's like shit's going down. And I need this to be a serious thing. Like, make it feel serious by being serious. Do you know what I mean? So instead of being like, "Oh, who are you? You're big, scary King the Conqueror." Ooh. And if he does that, like, boom, gone. Oh, this is serious, you know? Just, so instead of the jokey, funny thing, just kind of take it a little more seriously this year, or this phase, rather.
I think you're going to get your wish granted, especially with Secret Invasion. Quantumania is looking pretty fucking legit. What remains to be seen is really the shows. We know Loki, it's probably going to be pretty serious-ish, but, it's Loki. It's mischievous, right? I agree. They definitely need to be winning back some fans who felt kind of disheartened after Phase 4 and everything, and just like the lack of cohesiveness that hopefully will be a little bit repaired in Phase 5. So I'm optimistic about it. But I think you bring up a valid point. It's just like, make it feel important, right? Make it feel like there's actually like stakes, and not just like, hey, guess what? He's big bad, but not that bad. Make it legit. Well, nice, man. I like that. That was good number 1. Should we do a couple honorable mentions and then get ready to head out?
Yeah. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yeah, so I want to see Vision return. The Vision, White Vision, whichever it's supposed to be. I want to see what he's up to. I don't want to wait till Phase 6. And that's part of my thing, is like, there's so many characters and stories just going on right now that it's really hard to just feature everyone each phase within like 2 years. It's unless you do a massive team up movie all the time, and we're not. So it's hard, and I don't want to wait till Phase 6 because I really liked everything. I just really love what everything was going on with WandaVision. So I'm hoping we get him to show up in something. If I had to guess what, I would actually put my money down. It could be Thunderbolts or no, it got moved. I was gonna say Armor Wars, but isn't that in? That's a movie now, and that is actually Phase 6. So Captain America: New World Order. That's what I'm thinking of. Maybe he shows up there, but I don't know. I wouldn't put my money on it too much.
Speaking of Captain America New World Order, something I want honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Isaiah Bradley in costume.
Ooh.
Not even necessarily the really old man putting on his old garb for whatever reason. I think that would be dumb. But just like a flashback or something where it shows Isaiah Bradley donning the Captain America costume, fighting whoever. Red Guardian. Fighting whoever, doing his thing. I think that would be epic. You give 1,000 Spider-Mans. Let's get 1,000 Captain Americas going here,
I like that, man. And he is slated. I'm pretty sure if you go and look at IMDb for that cast, he's returning.
Yeah, the actor is coming back, but
yeah.
So the character's going to be in it. I just want to see the character as like Captain America, like in costume, holding the shield, doing the whole thing. I think that would be dope.
So you got my brain spinning here. So let's kind of talk through the idea I got going. You mentioned Young Avengers earlier. You brought up Eli Bradley. New World Order. If Isaiah's in this, I could see there being like a little flashback of like who he was, what he did, quick scene, whatever it is, right? At least show his suit or what he did. And then maybe part of this movie ends with Eli now taking up from his grandfather's reign and bringing him into the story officially as Patriot. And maybe that's one of our ending things is now you have this new character into the fold, but part of it's going to rely on Isaiah's story and like influencing and showing like, hey, you got this too or whatever. And then that pairs up with like Sam Wilson and yada, yada. And then maybe it ends with Sam Wilson as Cap with Patriot by his side. And don't forget, we get the Falcon 2.0 back.
Joaquin Torres.
That's a new trio there.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Heck yeah, man.
Did you have any other ones?
The other one I had too was Wang the Conqueror.
Oh, I had a feeling you were going to go Wang the Conqueror. We're pausing for Devin to die. And he's back.
Excuse me. I just cut it out, but I literally just got so into saying Wayne the Conqueror. I'm getting over bronchitis. That kind of just triggered my throat a little bit. I had a bad coughing fit. So that's how committed I am to getting Wayne the Conqueror. Bring in Wong.
2012, Avengers Tower. Loki kills Phil Coulson. That's what truly brings the Avengers together to fight Loki, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all had this camaraderie with Phil Coulson. Cool. Who knows everybody in the Avengers now? They're so spread out. Who would know all these people? Who's been in everything? I feel like we've seen a lot of Wong, right? Why are all these guys so mad at Kang the Conqueror? We haven't even seen him at all. Kang the Conqueror is going to kill Wong in Phase 5. That's what's going to happen.
Wow.
You're Wang the Conqueror? Cut off at the head.
Hey, you know what happens?
How do you bring She-Hulk together with Shang-Chi, together with fucking Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and all these people that don't know each other? Bam. Wong. He gets cut out, brother. He's done. Done.
Wow.
Who does the eulogy? Madison. I just added that at the end. But still.
Damn. You just blew my mind. Wong gets killed by Kang the Conqueror in Phase 5. Shit. That's a big prediction.
That's what sets up the Kang dynasty. Phase 6.
Wow. So Wong wouldn't make it to Secret Wars that we know of.
It's Secret Wars. Everybody comes back in Secret Wars.
Damn.
Just the Wong we have won't make it to Secret Wars.
Wow.
How do you get Stephen Strange to be the Sorcerer Supreme?
You gotta take out one.
Wong's gotta die. Who's gonna kill Wong? Kang the Conqueror.
No, I will say it. I feel like Wong has gotten so many close calls that other people have saved him from, that I think when those people are out of the equation, yeah, he's kind of done for. I mean, how many times did he get his butt saved by Strange in Multiverse Madness? Same thing with Infinity War a couple of times. She-Hulk wasn't that dire that he could handle it just fine, but yeah, I think you're right, man. I think you got a really strong point. I'm like flabbergasted. I'm like at a loss for words. That was good.
I mean,
that's a strong honorable mention.
It's got some.
It's got some legs.
It's like very loose, but it's possible. It's not impossible, you know.
Wow.
How do you really establish Kang as a threat? He kills the Sorcerer Supreme.
How do you make us really hate him, right? Get rid of a beloved character.
Just a thought.
Damn.
Plus, I fucking hate you guys talking about Wang the Conqueror.
Even when he's gone, he'll come back. That'll be our ongoing theory forever. Wow. That's a good one, man. That was good. Any other final honorable mentions?
That's all I had was those two.
That is hard to top, man. I don't know if I have anything else I could top off that other than
Isaiah in costume and then Kang the Conqueror versus Wong showdown.
Damn. Okay, this is the only other thing I'll say. In Phase 5, I hope Loki and Thor get to reunite, at least momentarily. I don't think it's going to happen with season 2 of Loki already being done and everything, but I think it'd be kind of cool to at least see Thor see that Loki is still out there, even if not 616 version, but a more redeemed Loki. I think it'd be a good heartfelt moment. If it happens, probably Phase 6, but Phase 5, a boy can dream. I can hope. Well, that was fun, man. That was cool.
There you have it.
That's our list, guys. So we went through a lot, and if you have, because we know there's plenty out there, let us know what you have as your top 5, maybe just 1, a million, please don't, things you want to see in Phase 5. Hit us up. You can go to our website. We have a contact form. You can subscribe and enter at everything you got there. Or you can just email us at earth894podcast@gmail.com, or just send us a message on Instagram. We talk to people. So yeah, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are, what you guys think of our predictions and everything like that. Louis, before we jet out of here, let's do some shout outs.
Say my name.
Tony Stank.
Say my name.
Noob Master.
Say my name.
Who?
Say my name.
So we kicked off finally our first Trivia Tuesday of the year. And we're trying a little bit of a different format. We're trying to up the stakes a bit. We're doing a little bit more kind of video cool stuff. So if you have some feedback on how it looks and how it interacts, let us know. Love to hear. We'll pay the intern a little bit more cheese to do a better job. So this week's question, going back to Black Widow, and Louis was the inspiration behind this. I forget why it came up, but the question is, in Black Widow, what is the name of Yelena's dog?
In the post-credits scene, was it Annie, Maggie, Lucky, or Fanny?
And the correct answer is ding, 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 ding.
D, Fanny.
Some ideas I threw behind these answers, right? Annie, Maggie, Lucky, Fanny, all like that E ending. Lucky made me think of just a random dog name, all that fun stuff. So I was pleasantly surprised that this did fool a decent number of people, but there are a slew of people who did get it right. And so we want to give y'all some credit. So off the top of the list here, shout out to Nerd Dose Podcast.
Codge Wills.
Luke Too Saucy.
The Fanny Club Podcast.
Nice. Samanthasaurus.
Needlessly Nerdy.
Mr. Marvel's Minutes.
Tommy Boy 24.
I don't know why I thought of the Top Gun theme just playing right there when you said that. Jedi Summers.
Kellum 112.
Two sides of the story. Pod.
Metalcore Nerds.
Buffy Tortilla.
Art All Out.
This one guy, Datarini.
I only got it right because we talked about it the week before. Oh, I wish you didn't say my name because now I have to say Million?
It's Megan from the Two Girls, One Multiverse podcast.
Mjolnir.
Is that
right?
Is that a variant of Mjolnir?
Like Mjolnir, but it's Mjolnir. We're going Mjolnir.
A Mjolnir.
You're gonna make me say it. There it is, Mjolnir.
Nice. I think it's just her initial and last name. I think it's Jillian or something like that.
Meow meow. What's meow meow?
If we butchered your last name, please correct us. T Sims 15.
I think I like Mjolnir better. NYC A9.
Shout out to our longtime, awesome, super cool fan, NYC A9. Hope you're doing good, man. Cool. I think we got one more from the other side of the multiverse called TikTok. Let me give a quick shout out to YXU317. Or is it Yuxu 317? I don't know.
It's Mjolnir, dude.
Millionaire. Awesome.
I'm the only one dumb enough to sit there and try that for an hour.
No, you're good, man. You're good. So yeah, thanks for playing with our trivia. We got some cool ones coming up in the future too. So make sure you are following us on all the socials. Check the show notes. Engage with us. We'll have a great time. Louie, that's our show, man. We did our top 5. We got through it all. And you gave me a mind-blowing honorable mention. And I'm going to be laying awake at night tonight, not sleeping, because I'm just going to be dreaming. Well, not dreaming, just catastrophizing the inevitable death of our beloved Wong by the hands of King the Conqueror.
Wongers, can we get Froyo?
Wongers is going to be a goner. Goners.
Throw the Mr. Marvel's minutes prediction on there. It's a Mr. Marvel minutes prediction. Kang's gonna fucking kill his ass, bro.
Oh my god! So here's my wild ass pitch that's never gonna happen for a What If episode. And what if final battle of Endgame? You see one Avenger left right before the army of unstoppable force from Thanos is going to just decimate this one remaining hero. It's Wong. Wong is standing there, bloodied, bruised, broken, and barely holding on. And all of a sudden, he hears on his comms, "On your left." He goes,
Wongers, can we get Froyo? She walks off.
Wongers, I'm on your left. That's right. Madison is back.
Not gonna happen.
She brings everyone through the portals. You see
Donnie
everyone.
Blaze.
See Donnie Blaze. Yep. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "And I brought Froyo." And also, who steps through that portal? The Sopranos.
I was gonna say the Sopranos.
Yep.
That's when you cut
Tony
the episode
Soprano.
in the middle of you saying that. The Sopranos.
Done. That's my what if, bitch. Write it, shoot it, animate it, book it. Done.
Oh, goodness. Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today here on Earth 894. It's been a pleasure entertaining you today or tonight or whenever you're listening to this. We got big stuff coming up for the Earth 894 Presents the Multiverse of March Madness tournament. We also have some giveaways and some other good shit coming. Pay attention. Tell your friends about us. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you can review us. We appreciate you all, and we love you.
Well said. For real. Give us a review, and we will share it on our website. We got a cool shout out to all the people who leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts and wherever on earth894podcast.com, or just let us know. We'll love to share it out on our socials. So that is it. This has been Earth 894. Good luck out there in the multiverse.
Goodbye, everybody.
Wang the Conqueror.
Pros know a thing or two about how to get the toughest messes clean. That's why they've long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab for their businesses. And now, that level of clean is available for your home at the Home Depot. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of pro-grade cleaning products for all your home's needs. So you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary.